I don't want to take up any more of y'all's time, but I do have one last question. So we talked about all the like kind of poopy parts of COVID and the parts of it that like we really don't want anymore. But it kind of in the vein that we were just talking about, do you guys think there's anything from this time that you will take into times after COVID, assuming there are times after COVID? Like, are there things that you do now that you want to keep doing? Are there people you're talking to now that you want to keep talking to? Like, are there practices that you want to keep practicing? Things like
Sounds a good question.
My grandparents, who are gone now, came of age during the Great Depression. And if you asked them, I'm like a history nerd, if you asked them what their experiences were like, they were children then, and they remembered it in really fond ways. They remembered the kind of time that they spent with their parents, and like a lot of foraging and like cooking and things like that. Like they didn't experience the emotional weight in quite the same way that I'm sure their parents did. Then I talked to them when they came through World War II. There were lots of important societal changes that happened on the back end of World War II that fundamentally changed this place. You could say the same thing about the social movements in the 1960s, right? Like there is these kinds of moments in history, there can be these sort of glimmers of hope, benefit, sort of strengthening that happen amidst them. And so I think you're right, Corey, to kind of start to begin to point to them. I don't know where they are with this thing quite yet, but I will say, like at a very personal level, I think for me, it's going to be really important. Like I've thought about how I'm going to rejigger my day, because what I found is that like my kids really benefit from me making breakfast in the morning, and I don't do it as much as I used to, and I'm going to. So sorry for these really early meetings, folks who had early meetings with me. Like I'm going to dig in and lean into that more, because that matters a lot to me. It matters a lot to them. And like the other thing that my wife and I have been doing is like when I first started dating my wife, she used to run around East Campus, like that East Campus loop. She used to do that a lot, and I didn't run at all. But because I was trying to date my wife, I would go running with her. And then I would have like cardiovascular episodes trying to keep up with her as we ran around East Campus. And I like have these very fond memories of almost dying every time I ran with her. And we haven't run together in years. And like in the last 2 weeks, we've been running together, and I'm still having mild cardiac events, but it's really wonderful time. And so like I've decided I want to try to get in better shape so I can beat my wife at running. That's the other thing I'm going to do. Or at least keep up with her.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I have much to say. On top of that, I think the sort of the thing that's sort of reinforced for me right now is the idea that people are built to help each other and sort of do stuff that makes things more valuable. I mean, the sort of the broader nature of people at Duke that have been sort of jumping in to try to be helpful and looking for ways. One of I think Gary's and my jobs right now is to like help other people figure out ways they can jump in and be helpful to students and to each other and to the community right now. And there's so many things coming around at once. I would echo the part around sort of just being with with my kids and my family, my spouse. It just really is there's an element of sort of how do you sort of maintain that, because I think students are going to go off and, likely work a lot, as you go out and sort of, do all kinds of things. And kind of, for me, there's certainly been some real lessons in rebalancing, and maybe thinking about how work can be, in some ways more efficient, in some ways more deep, so that home balance can be there. Because, we talked about doing this sort of format in sort of small little video content. My sense is that people need sort of deeper conversation right now, in addition to sort of short takes. Kind of staying connected right now is pretty important.
I think one other thing on this which is that in the next year, I hope as some of us come back to campus, I don't want us to act as though things are back to normal.
Yes.
Because this has been a profoundly disruptive moment in world history. And to Mary Pat's point, like we actually need to sit together and talk about this and think about this and sort of wrestle with what the impact of this has been on our lives and on our communities, and sort of what a Duke looks like after this.
Yeah.
These are really important conversations. Like we can't afford to go back to normal.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for that. And kind of on that point, like again, this is tough. Like all of it's tough. And like I can't speak for everyone. I can speak for me. That in this time I've had this like long yearning for connection, this yearning to talk to people that I haven't talked to, this yearning to talk to people in general. And I think that when we're in proximity together, we often forget that we need each other.
Yeah.
And so it's times like this where we're reminded where we need each other. And so I urge, like something I'm constantly thinking of and something I urge anybody who's watching this to think of is like, remember that how much you felt like you needed other people in this time.
Yeah.
And when this is over, reflect on how much you needed that connection, because like we can't afford to go back to how we were living prior to COVID. We just can't.
Mm-mm.
And so, talk to your friends, check up on them, call them, Zoom them, go for a walk with friends, but do what you need to stay healthy and help your friends do that as well. Because like this is tough.
Yeah.
And it's tough for everyone. Right. But yeah.
Yeah, kind of share something on that note. 2 days ago, I was eating Panda Express on Bryan Center alone. No one, not even within 6 feet, but like 60 feet. And this squirrel jumped on my table, stole a piece of chicken from my bowl, and just started chewing chicken like this right in front of me. And that 5 minutes of me having lunch with a squirrel gave me such an adrenaline rush. It made me realize how much I miss people. Yeah. And having someone sitting on the other side of the table with me. So after that, I shared that video with all my friends, all my family, and of course started talking about things other than squirrels. But that moment of connection, that moment of reconnecting with nature, of course, but with people I care deeply about, and also people I haven't had the privilege to meet, is tremendously fun and refreshing in a moment like this. So I'm not recommending having lunch with squirrels, but if you have the opportunity, they're pretty fun. They eat a lot. They eat chicken, so they're not vegetarian, contrary to my thinking.
I think we can wrap it right there.
That's it. There we go.
The ultimate optimism right there.
Same.
That was amazing. Oh my gosh. Wait, it sat there long enough for you to get a video?
I have a video. I'll share the squirrel video with you all.
Be a share.
Go on the Instagram, Sophie.
That's all right.
Hey, Sophie.
Okay, that's a wrap.
It's cool to start talking to you.
Oh my gosh. I cried, I laughed, I crashed more.